frustrating. But getting on to the main event, Luis J. Gomez.
Well, before you talk about the main event, can I mention something about the undercard? This is kind of interesting.
Go ahead, please.
So, Conor McGregor was in attendance, and he got in trouble for, I guess, was unofficially cornering Artem Lobov because he was in the front row yelling from his seat and like giving him directions. Oh no, he actually got up and walked to the cage.
From my understanding, pardon me, he was following the action around the cage as well, like circling the cage.
He was circling the cage. Wow. I knew that he was standing up and yelling shit.
Because I read a statement from referee Mark Goddard. Mark's an old friend of mine from the UK scene, and now he's up there with one of the best referees in the business. And he put a statement out there afterwards saying that obviously both guys, both fighters, you have 3 cornermen. Unless your main event, you have 4 cornermen. And obviously they have to stay in their corner. And he said that Conor was basically following the action around. And because, listen, he's Conor and it's an event in Poland and it's a UK team. Listen, Conor's the man in the UFC. So he can do whatever he wants pretty much. So he was, he was pushing the boundaries. But so what? Listen, he was just in the moment. He's cornering his boy. I've cornered friends of mine. I've been in that same position pretty much. I've unofficially cornered people. So, but the problem that Mark Goddard, the ref, had was that Conor was kind of following him around the octagon. So therefore, he wasn't even in the corner side. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So listen, Conor wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just looking out for his friend. And I guess it was a nice move from the referee to, in terms of Andre Fili, his opponent. If you're on the other side, and you're like, he's got a fucking guy walking around the octagon screaming advice at me the whole time. That was a good call by Mark. It was. And apparently Conor took it really well. He was just like, my bad, whatever, and went and sat down. So kind of a bit of a storm in the teacup, but still it was kind of funny.
Let me ask you a question. You're in the middle of a fight. There's another fighter outside there that's not actually in a corner, that's yelling from the crowd, kind of circling the cage, doing his thing. Does that even register? I don't know. Is that actually going to help anybody, or is that just more distracting than anything else? Do you think that Artem Lobov is listening to Conor going, "Oh, cool, all right, I see that," or do you think it's just Conor being a madman and it's just kind of fucking, it's another stupid little silly moment? I don't. You know better than anybody else. Would that even help somebody?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know what this expression means. You probably do. Is it English? I'm not sure. It's kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You know what I mean? It all depends on the individual. It depends on the advice that you're given. But I'll give a piece of advice. An example this morning. So I'm sparring, and I've done a really good job. I've stopped all the takedowns, this and that. I'm round 5, fresh man every round, and the guy gets me down. There's like 30 seconds left of the final round of sparring. I get taken down right at the end, and he's on top of me, ring guard, and Dean, who we just spoke to, Dean's screaming out how to get back to the feet, and he's giving advice, but he's saying exactly what I was about to do. Hence, therefore, telling my opponent what I'm going to do. And so I'm having a dialogue back with him going, Dean, shut the fuck up. I was about to do that. Now, if I try and do it, he's going to know. So I had to go to plan B and do something else. So sometimes when people are giving you advice from the side, it can be great, it can be beneficial. Other times it can be really distracting, especially when somebody's like too hyped up and in the moment, and like they're too like out of control, if you will, and they're just screaming stuff. It can be really fucking annoying. And less is more. Less is definitely more, because you got to remember the guy in there, he's real close and he's reading everything, and he's got to fight and he's got to react of what's being thrown at him as well as throw his own things. A fight is an intense situation, and if somebody's going on far, far too much, now I'm not talking about Conor because I didn't see it. I'm only going off reports off the internet. But if it's too much, it's definitely a distraction. Definitely.
Yeah. Do you, when you're in there, do you listen to like one corner guy? Do you have like a code? Because that was always something that I would wonder, right? So let's say, your guy in the corner is going, keeps on calling whatever it is, whatever move that he wants you to do. You guys are in the cage together. The opponent can hear it. So, is there? I'm assuming certain people have to have some sort of fucking like crazy code, like like the baseball coaches have like hand signals and shit, or is it just kind of like madness? I don't know. It all seems like there's no rhyme or reason to what's happening with what the corner guys are yelling.
Yeah, not really. I remember my old coach years ago kind of did come up with some like kind of code name so that the other guy wouldn't know. But no, not really, to be honest. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, as I said, unless you're making a blatantly massive mistake, the corner shouldn't have to walk you through it. You know what I mean? They shouldn't have to walk you through it step by step. And if there's a set piece, you know, maybe they'll be like, come on, remember what we do in training. Remember the move. You know the move here, Mike, or whatever it may be. They're not necessarily going to say, okay, put your foot on the hips, pull down on the left arm. And as he does that, then roll around for an arm bar or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you might have some cute little pet names for certain things that you do. In my corner, I mean, for a long time in my career now.
Suck in his manliness.
Say again?
Suck in his manliness.
Exactly. But in my corner, I've had Jason Perillo, Brady Fink. Now there's others that have come and gone or been around and whatever. But generally, the way we work on the feet, Jason Perillo gives the instructions. Not the instructions, just a lot of time positive reinforcement. Or if he's seeing, like, for example, in the Henderson fight, I kept leading with a left hook. And that's why I got countered with right hands both times. And he might say, come on, leave the left hook. Stop leading with the left hook. Just things like that. And then if we hit the floor, Brady will take over, and Brady talks about the jiu-jitsu and whatnot. So, because what you don't want is fucking everyone in the corner screaming instructions, and it just becomes a shit show, and it just becomes distracting.
All right. So listen, talk to me real quick